Hey there YouTube, it's Critcher. I'm doing a quick update video because building a main's over and I want to go over what's coming next. But first, a quick retrospective on building a main. And one of the first points I have to address is that in the first episode, I mentioned that building a main was pre-recorded. I played the account for about 3 months, recording it. At the time, I didn't have time to edit, so there was no chance of it being a live series in that sense because I just had other commitments. I didn't have the time to do the editing and play at the same time. But that meant that I decided to double down on the rule of not being able to be helped by extending it to not getting advice either. And in hindsight, this made a really bad viewing experience. People like to be able to help. They like to be able to give advice or help someone out who they see is struggling with something. And the way I did that series didn't allow for that. Wasn't a big fan of it, and it also made it kind of painful to try and interact with people when I was streaming during the series. It was on a different account, so there was no real, like, if someone who was interested in the series came to a stream to watch, they were watching something completely different. Even though it's the same game, it was a completely different account, completely different goals. The second account I'm talking about is the one I de-ironed, which I basically went through and ticked off all of its like in-flight goals before emptying its bank and got it ready for the next series. So yeah, through building a main, I learned a lot, and a lot of it does come down to don't pre-record an entire series. I learned a lot about what kind of clips I need. I couldn't go and get them because it was all pre-recorded stuff. Stuff like making quest montages more interesting required recording parts during the quest and then minimizing how much time you just spend staring at the quest complete screen. I obviously couldn't fix that because unless I maxed another main or get another questscape, because I didn't know that until I started editing. So I learned a lot, and ultimately building a main was a really great learning experience. I'm absolutely floored by how well it did. Like when I was recording it, I was just thinking, oh, it's just any old main's journey through the game. I'm just coming back to RuneScape because I was quitting WoW at the time, and that was my entire premise. I recorded because I was just interested in learning about video editing. And now I've got a lot more motivating factors to keep putting out good content and really pick up the pace with learning more about video editing. I'm definitely still a rookie at it, but I'll get there. So the plan is for what's next is 2 accounts. I have my main, which is Critcher. The plan is to keep doing videos of its account progression. It has a lot to do, even though it's maxed and got a questcape. There's a lot of unlocks it's still got to do, a lot of learning that I still want to do. It's going to be my way of learning some bosses. And I'm also going to be using it for one-off videos. That was originally why I made the account and wanted a maxed account with access to the entire game. Was I wanted the ability to, for whatever idea I got, just have no barrier to entry to going and doing that idea. And that's what Critcher gives me, as well as just being my main, where I can work towards the kind of like long-term goals I kind of enjoy in the game, which I enjoy a lot of PVM and Slayer, so I'll probably end up going for like Ultimate Slayer and maybe Golden Reaper over time. Those are both like multi-year goals as far as I'm aware, so I'm not in any rush for those, but those are the kind of things I'll slowly be working towards. As for the other account, Naira4, the account is going to be used in basically any progression series that would require like an empty bank. So the upcoming series does require an empty bank, and if you only have one main account, you can't really empty the bank without using a ton of keepsake keys or giving up your entire wealth. And resetting my wealth every time I wanted to do a new series or a new progression series just wasn't really feasible. So that's why I've got 2 accounts, because one, I can just empty its bank anytime and not have to worry about like, oh, necromancy's coming out and I've got no gold. So the next series is going to be a progression series of some kind, but it's not going to be a typical account progression series. It's not really going to be a bank builder series either. It's a progression series through a section of content in RuneScape, and that for now that's as much as I'll say in it, because I want to see people's reactions when the first episode comes out, basically. And yeah, Nairafall's all ready for that. His bank is empty, his money pouch is empty, wealth evaluator is almost empty. There's like 7 mil I just can't find in the game. Like its metal bank is empty, or archaeology storage is empty, kingdom's empty, invention machines are empty. I just can't find where that money is. So I'm assuming it's some currency or something that has a gold value despite not being tradable. So not really sure what that's about. But the first episode of that series is going to be coming out on the 18th of June, so next Sunday. And as for why it's coming out so late instead of just coming out on Thursday, like it kind of should do after an update video like this, I'm going away on a work trip starting tomorrow, which will be Monday, until Wednesday. So I'm going to be gone for a few days, and I won't have time to play or record during that time, which means I wouldn't be able to get the episode out for Thursday. So it's coming out on the Sunday instead, and I've got another video ready to go for Thursday. So now for some social stuff. The clan situation is, the TLDR is, why no clan? And the TLDR answer to that is time. I don't have enough time to run a clan in a way I would be happy with. Basically, for me to be happy running a clan, it would have to be able to give something back to the people that joined it. And right now, I don't really have the time to make that happen. It would have to be like some kind of event, some kind of like weekly session where we all meet up and mass a boss, at the bare minimum, something like that. That's the kind of thing I'd have to be able to offer if I wanted to make a clan in game and be happy with the clan I was offering, and I can't do that right now, so I'm not rolling the option out forever, but for right now, it's just not a good time. However, I did make a Discord, as I announced at the start of the finale. So why make a Discord? Basically, there's no real good central place to keep in touch with all the different streams and content I put out, basically. I could do Twitter, but since they killed automation on Twitter, I now need to manually remember to do all that, and I sometimes forget. Doing it on YouTube isn't great because posts aren't particularly nice. I've been overusing them a bit, I feel, and they kind of clog up people's feeds, so I don't want to use those too much. I also don't think, depending on where you look on YouTube, you actually see posts particularly well. I think I only ever see them on mobile, so I'm not going to use those as much going forward, because if you want to see when I post a new video, see when I go live on Twitch, or just in general pick my brain about anything or discuss anything, or if you want to teach me anything, then my Discord is open to everyone. The link will be in every video description. So yeah, that's basically where things are at. Building a main is wrapped up. I've learned a ton about content creation. I'm super stoked for the future, and we've got a big progress series coming in on the 18th of June. So with all that covered, I wish you all a great week, and I'll catch you again next time.